Welcome everyone. Today in Rich and Spiritual presents The Golden Key by EMMET Fox. Preface. EMMET Fox, a notable New Thought leader and writer, was born in Ireland but lived most of his life in England before moving to America. He became interested in the New Thought movement as a young man and gave his first metaphysical lecture in London in 1928. During a visit to the United States in 1931, Dr. Fox accepted the position of minister of the Church of the Healing Christ in New York City. As a divine science minister, he was highly successful and respected in his field. EMMET Fox had a high regard for Unity and its co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. In 1944, Dr. Fox authorized the special Unity edition of his pamphlet, The Golden Key. The Golden Key presents important beliefs and ideas of one of the early New Thought leaders. The Golden Key has been the means of helping many people all over the world solve all kinds of problems and overcome all sorts of handicaps, and it is presented here to help you join in benefiting from its usefulness. I am happy to cooperate in this way with the fine work Unity is doing, and which I believe so heartily. May the Golden Key be the means of opening your door to health, freedom, and knowledge of God. Signed, EMMET Fox. Forward. I have condensed this message in this edition. Had it been possible, I would have condensed it to several lines. It is not intended to be an instructional treatise, but a practice guide for getting out of trouble. Study and research are well in their own time and place, but no amount of either will get you out of a difficulty. Nothing but practical work in your own consciousness will do that. The mistake made by many people when things go wrong is to skim through book after book without getting anywhere. Also, to think about the problem, going over every detail, while worrying about the outcome. Read the Golden Key several times. Do exactly what it says, and if you are persistent, you will overcome any difficulty. Signed, EMMET Fox. The Golden Key. Scientific prayer will enable you to get yourself, or anyone else, out of any difficulty. It is the golden key to harmony and happiness. To those who have no acquaintance with the mightiest power in existence, this may appear to be a rash claim, but it needs only a fair trial to prove that, without a shadow of doubt, it is a just one. You need take no one's word for it, and you should not. Simply try it for yourself. God is omnipotent, and we are God's image and likeness and have dominion over all things. This is the inspired teaching, and it is intended to be taken literally, at its face value. The ability to draw on this power is not the special prerogative of the mystic or the saint, as is so often supposed, or even of the highly trained practitioner. Everyone has this ability. Whoever you are, wherever you may be, the golden key to harmony is in your hands now. This is because in scientific prayer it is God who works, and not you, and so your particular limitations or weaknesses are of no account in the process. You are the only channel through which the divine action takes place, and your treatment will be just the getting of yourself out of the way. Beginners often get startling results the first time, for all that is essential is to have an open mind and sufficient faith to try the experiment. Apart from that, you may hold any views on religion, or none. As for the actual method of working, like all fundamental things, it is simplicity itself. All you have to do is this: stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. This is the complete rule, and if only you will do this, the trouble, whatever it is, will disappear. It makes no difference what kind of trouble it is. It may be a big thing or a little thing. It may concern health, finance, a lawsuit, a quarrel, an accident, or anything else conceivable. but whatever it is, stop thinking about it and think of God instead. That is all you have to do. It could not be simpler, could it? God could scarcely have made it simpler, and yet it never fails to work when given a fair trial. Do not try to form a picture of God, which is impossible. Work by rehearsing anything or everything you know about God. God is wisdom, truth, inconceivable love. God is present everywhere, has infinite power, knows everything, and so on. It matters not how well you may think you understand these things, go over them repeatedly. Remember, God is not a super being in the sky somewhere. God is spirit always within and around you. God is the very essence of the real you. God is the answer to every seeming problem. You must stop thinking of the trouble, whatever it appears to be. The rule is to think about God only. If you are thinking about your difficulty, you are not thinking about God. To be continually glancing over your shoulder in order to see how matters are progressing is fatal, because it is thinking of the trouble, and you must think of God, and nothing else. Your object is to drive the thought of the difficulty out of your consciousness, for a few moments at least, substituting for it the thought of God. This is the crux of the whole thing. If you can become so absorbed in this consideration of the spiritual world that you forget for a while about the difficulty, you will find that you are safely and comfortably out of your difficulty, that your demonstration is made. In order to, golden key, a troublesome person or difficult situation, think, now I am going to, golden key, John or Mary or that threatened danger, then proceed to drive all thought of John or Mary or the danger out of your mind, replacing it with the thought of God. By working in this way about a person, you are not seeking to influence his conduct in any way, except that you prevent him from injuring or annoying you, and you do him nothing but good. Thereafter, he is certain to be in some degree a better, wiser, and more spiritual person, just because you have, golden keyed, him. A pending lawsuit or other difficulty would probably fade out harmlessly without coming to a crisis, justice being done to all parties concerned. If you find that you can do this very quickly, you may repeat the operation several times a day with intervals between. Be sure, however, each time you have done it, you drop all thought of the matter until the next time. This is very important. We have said that the golden key is simple, and so it is, but of course it is not always easy to turn. If you are very frightened or worried, at first it may be difficult to get your thoughts away from material things. But by constantly repeating a statement of absolute truth, such as, there is no power but God, I am the child of God, filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God, God is love. God is guiding me now, or, perhaps best and simplest of all, God is with me, however mechanical or trite it may seem, you will soon find that the treatment has begun to take, and that your mind is clearing. Do not struggle violently, be quiet, but insistent. Each time you find your attention wandering, switch it back to God. Do not try to think in advance what the solution to your difficulty will be. This is called outlining, and will only delay the demonstration. Leave the question of ways and means to God. You want to get out of your difficulty, that is sufficient. You do your half, and God will never fail to do God's. Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Acts 2:21. The End. You have heard The Golden Key by EMMET, a creation of Rich and Spiritual.